All right, so let's go ahead and just find your seat. You might prop your hips up on a blanket or block or whatever feels good to you. And see somebody else joining in. Go ahead. As you find your comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall, start to just welcome the eyes to begin to close, either completely or just finding that soft gaze to the floor. Just moving away from the stimulation of the outside world, all that comes at you, whether it be from the news, from family, from work, from to-do list, all that's out there that we have to deal with. Start to choose to consciously put that aside and drop into the here and now. Present moment. Present moment where the body and breath live. Feeling the connection of the body to the earth. Feeling the hands resting where they've landed. Even just noticing the air on your skin, the noises that surround you. And just taking the present moment, each present moment as it surfaces, noticing it, and then being willing to let it go. Because there's always a new present moment awaiting you. Start to shift the awareness to your internal landscape. Noticing what you're coming to your practice with, if anything in the body is speaking to you. Maybe the mind is still gripping onto a thought or something, some expectation. Whatever you notice in the next few moments, it's just a noticing. Just allow yourself to notice it with an open heart. Don't beat yourself up. And then choose to come back into the present moment if you find yourself wandering off. And feeling the breath. Just feeling the ease of the breath, moving in and moving out. Right now, you don't have to make it anything other than what it is. Just let yourself be present with it. Feel it as it comes in, feel it as it moves through the body, and feel it as it goes out. Start to watch the breath a little closer, and as it comes in, feel it, witness it, and then experience the breath as it moves through the body. Experience what moves in the body as a result of the breath. And as the breath releases, experience that. If you need a little support to release your day, you might start to lengthen that exhalation. Bring some intention to the breath, fuller inhale, more complete exhale. Remembering that the breath is the practice. You stay present with the experience of the breath. You ride that wave. As we continue here for just another few mindful breaths, fuller inhale, slow, soft exhale. Consciously choose to release any tightness or gripping. Beginning to find that yin surrender. Noticing when the mind wanders or starts to react, maybe something I say or don't say, something that's happening in the body. Just notice that and then shift yourself back to here and now. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Let the heart reach up towards the thumbs and the shoulders roll back. We begin together with a cleansing breath. Nice full inhale to the belly. Please join me. Big audible open mouth exhale. Gently bowing down to the light within. If you're ready, releasing the hands down to the knees or thighs. Rolling the shoulders up to the ears with a breath in and press them back, melt them down with a breath out. If you're sitting on a blanket, you can stay seated on the blanket, especially if you have some low back sensitivity. I'm going to take the feet forward, the soles of the feet together, the knees wide, and then don't pull them all the way in. Let the heels come further out so it's more like a diamond shape. I know it's a little hard to see me. I should have worn lighter pants to contrast the mat. But we're creating more of a diamond shape here with the knees falling out, soles of the feet together. Lengthen up through the spine, squeeze shoulder blades together. Just take a nice big breath into the opening in the heart. As you feel ready, you can always stay just like this if this feels good for you. Letting the pelvis roll forward a bit, let the knees surrender to gravity, or start to walk the hands forward. And very gently, don't go as deep as possible. Just take yourself into this, maybe a little shake from side to side. You might take some pillows or a bolster under your chest or even a block on the feet to rest the head. But again, don't go as deep as possible. And then if you are upright, there's always the option of putting a chair right in front of you and resting your arms on the chair and letting your head rest on that seat. However you land for yourself, just take some breaths, knowing that this too will change. Be present in your body as it starts to unravel your day. Allow the full inhale and the full exhale to move you, to soften you. Find a fuller inhale and a fuller exhale, letting that exhalation release any gripping, any holding. Be with the pause after the exhalation. Continuing, just be here now. Allowing and welcoming. Staying anchored in your breath. Being the witness to each unfolding moment. There's a quote that I've been loving lately. I'd like to share with you. Maybe it resonates, maybe it doesn't. You are the sky. Everything else is just the weather. You are the sky. Everything else is just the weather. Be the expansion, the spaciousness, the beautiful shade of blue. Beginning to welcome, without changing anything but the breath, welcome a fuller inhale and a more complete exhale. Feel the inhale, the life force, prana, fill the body. Begin to ground your hands to the earth. Very slowly, gently, start to press the earth away. Pull the low tummy in to keep the low back safe. Just roll up slowly, one vertebra at a time. When the head lifts, you might roll the shoulders. You might gently help the knees together. And just take a moment to just sit and notice the body receiving that posture. Staying connected inward, remembering the practice is not just in the postures, it's in the transitions. And welcome another full breath in and out. Free to stay as long as you'd like. And slowly move your props aside, if they're in your way. You can always take the feet a little wider, hands behind you. Squeeze shoulder blades together to open the heart. Maybe lift the chin a little and just windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And pausing in center, take the feet a little wider. We're going to let the knees draw down to the right. Let that left hip, yes, I'm mirroring you here. Left hip is going to lift up, sending the heart over towards the wall. If you're sitting on something here, it's usually easier and more comfortable to come off of it. As you press that hip forward and lengthen up through the spine, option to take that left knee and push it back further to create more space between the foot and the knee. It's going to get you deeper into that hip flexor, maybe it's psoas. You decide. Lengthen up through the spine and then start to walk the fingertips away from the heart. You can come to forearms if you'd like. You can take a blanket and rest it under your chest, the block to rest under your head. And again, options to press that knee further away to get in a little deeper. Up to you. Remember, you can always drop in deeper or you can even stay upright. Either now or later, you can choose to walk the fingertips further away to create more opening in the side body, straightening the arms, reaching them away from you. There's lots of options to make this yours. Allow a few mindful breaths to cue the body to settle in, to receive the support. You might visualize your favorite color blue of the sky. Nothing in view, no buildings, no clouds, just blue sky as far as you can see. Spacious, clear. releasing the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Perhaps parting the lips so the jaw can surrender. Noticing if the urge to come out of a posture surfaces. Noticing it before responding or reacting to it. And then making a choice. Maybe the choice is to breathe one more breath before coming out. And receive the support a little more. Taking another full breath in and a full breath out. Begin to ground the hands and slowly push yourself up. As you arrive, stay facing the direction you face for just a moment. And when you feel ready, you can walk the hands forward, gently lean back, release the legs. Feel free to sit for a moment or find a little movement with a little windshield wiper. Stay present with your experience, whether moving or stillness. If you're moving, feel free to stay there or perhaps just come back to center for a couple of mindful breaths to just receive. As you feel ready, make your way over to the other side. Take your time. Come on up, take the feet wide. Let the knees start to fall down to the left. You might take that knee a little further behind. And then press that right hip forward to really open up that hip a little more. Lengthen up through the spine. Sit up tall before you start to take the hands and walk them away. And if you decide to come down, rest the chest on something, rest the head on something. And don't forget, you can always stretch the arms out to create more opening in the side body. Give yourself a few moments to settle in. Always noticing what surfaces for you. Receiving it with love. Even if it's a busy mind. You never ask our heart to stop pumping, so you can't ask your mind to stop thinking. It's just a matter of noticing it. Creating more space for it to quiet down some. Anchoring in the breath. Feeling your body expand and contract. Inviting even over and over again for the body to let go, the mind to let go, the heart to let go. And to welcome the full breath in and out. Don't rush to get out of the posture, just be with that full breath. If you feel ready, you ground the hands. Slowly press yourself up, stay facing the direction you're facing, stay connected inward. Take a moment upright. And as you feel ready, begin to unwind back to center. Feel free to sit, breathe, and be. Finding movement calls to you. Windshield wiper, you can find any other movement that intuitively comes to you. Are you connecting deeper to yourself, not connecting deeper to me, what I said. And you've chosen a couple more breaths. When you're ready, we're going to come around onto our belly. So you might have blocks, maybe a pillow near the head, in case you want them. Once you roll onto your belly, just rest on one cheek for a moment, let the body settle in. You might even bend the knees and windshield wiper the feet a teeny bit. Take another couple of breaths here. Feeling the connection of the earth, feeling the breath connect to the earth. Just to bring a little bit of movement in before we settle into our yin posture. Just going to take the hands under the shoulders. The face looks down. Move through just a couple of baby cobras with the breath. You don't have to lift up high. We just inhale, lift the head and the shoulders, move down through the hips and the feet. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift gently. Exhale, lower. Just do one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, and then stack the arms, rest on the opposite cheek. And take a couple of breaths, just feeling the connection of the body to the earth. We'll make our way up into Sphinx. So taking the elbows under the shoulders and the arms at 90 degrees. Of course, if this is too much for your back, you can always take the arms forward a bit or even take the elbows out wider, which will lower you down. If you can and it feels safe, you bring the elbows under the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, palms face down. You're going to pull the floor towards you and let the shoulders roll back. And then tuck the chin gently, so we're not looking up. We're letting the neck grow really long here. We're also not releasing the head heavy, though that is an option if you'd like to do that. And if your neck really wants to let go, just take a block and rest your forehead on the block. A couple options before you fully drop in. At any point, you can deepen this by taking your hands a little wider and then straightening the arms coming up higher. Keep those shoulders out of the ears as best you can. And if you decide to come out of that, take the elbows in a bit to drop them down and then bring the hands in. And of course, you can come out or lower it at any point you need to. Think of your heart like a headlamp. And allow the head to just float above. The head's not reaching. We're not leading with our head. We're leading with our heart. Breathing into the heart space, shining all around. Softening the face and the jaw. The neck is needing a little release. It's okay to gently find little half circles to just stretch the neck. Stay connected with the light of your heart, shining bright and expanding in all directions. You can even see it as the color green. Green is the color of the heart chakra. The more tuned in we are to this, especially these days, the better. Notice what's gripping, invite it to soften. And of course, you can keep your low belly engaged, keep your back a little happier if it seems cranky. Beginning to release the elbows wide and slowly lower the chest to the floor. Just rest. Feel this. Send some conscious, intentional breaths down into the low back, filling that space with goodness. Just full breath in and out. And for the next few moments, feel free to stay here, or if you'd like to push up and move through a little cat-cow, that might feel good to just bring a little realignment back into the spine. Our next posture will be done on the belly, on the floor. A few moments to bring a little gentle movement in, breathing through each movement. Be really present with the experience, still embodying the yin intention and energy. And just take another 3 or 4 breaths. Feel free to take a moment in child's pose. Back onto your belly at any point. There's no rush. Another couple of unhurried breaths. What is it that your body needs? As you feel ready, making your way back onto your belly. We're going to come into what I like to call an earth hug. You come to your left cheek and take your arms out wide from the shoulders, palms face down. The hands are out wide from the shoulders, palms face down. The arms can be a little lower than the shoulders if that feels better for you. Left cheek to the floor. And then the right knee is going to come out to the side and bring it up about hip height or lower, not higher than the hip though. And then the foot, the ankle, is in line with the knee. So you might wiggle the hips a little bit to press the shin further away, closer to the wall out in front of your gaze. Let the pelvis start to melt towards the floor. Option here to take a rolled blanket or a folded blanket underneath your shin from the knee to the ankle to deepen this, melting the pelvis towards the earth. However you choose to be in this, body and envision the earth, the globe, with your body on it, hugging Mother Earth, surrendering the gravity and the pull. Feel the rhythm of your breath reflect back at you. You always give the hips a little wiggle and press the knee and the ankle together further away. Get a little deeper. Notice what's gripping and let it go. Noticing, not changing anything. Noticing the body as it is, breath as it is. Spaciousness within. And even the places that aren't so spacious. Holding it all with love. Becoming aware of the connections between you and the earth. Welcome a fuller breath in and out. Very gently bring your right leg in, meet the other. You can bring the arms wherever they're happiest. Maybe even stacking the hands and letting the forehead rest centered. And then perhaps bending the knees and windshield wipering the feet from side to side or moving in any way your body tells you to. Tuning into the posture, lingering, your body responding, receiving. There's no rush, but as you do feel ready, you'll make your way back onto your belly if you're not still there. In your own time, allow the arms to come wide again and come to the opposite cheek, resting on the right cheek. Noticing if you need to take the arms down or the shoulders up in the ears. If you take the hands down a little, the shoulders might relax down. And after a breath or two of settling in back into the earth, start to bend the left knee, lifting it up towards the height of the hip. And then bring that foot underneath the knee, not in towards the leg. And then give the hips a little shimmy and maybe press the left shin further away from you, letting the pelvis start to surrender more towards the earth. You can always place a blanket underneath that left shin to come in deeper. Now or later, you choose. Or not at all, of course. Give yourself a little wiggle to settle in. Embrace the earth hug. Allow yourself to be held. Allowing the breath move through you, purifying, bringing in all that you need and taking out what is no longer serving you. And as you feel better, starting to deepen the breath, welcoming yourself back in, taking the left leg back in towards the right, gently bringing the hands in, maybe moving the head, taking a moment in center, maybe bending the knees with the feet towards the ceiling, windshield wipering the legs from side to side. And as you feel ready, pressing yourself up the tabletop. And very gently walk the hands forward and just find a couple circles with the hips. Just moving the hips gently around. Make big circles, small circles. Stay connected in word as you feel into your body and what it needs. And then going in the other direction. And then I'll pause and center and let the knees come wide and press back into child's pose. Feel free to take some blocks or bolster or blankets to soften this up some and rest your chest on them. Or come in fully, whatever feels good to you. Take a few moments here, so settle in. If you'd like to rest on one cheek, that's fine. I'll let you know when to switch to the other cheek. letting the hips melt back towards the heels, going inward. Let the breath roll down the back and out the heart. If you are on one cheek, you might switch to the opposite cheek. If you're in the center, you might tune into the connection of the earth with the space between the eyebrows, third eye, seeing the beautiful indigo color right there, growing and beaming in all directions, tuning into your intuitive center, strengthening that form of communication. Wherever you are, inviting forward breath in, breathing into the space you've created. Breathing in what it is you need. As you feel ready, hands under the shoulders. Very gently bring yourself up and out. If you'd like to sit for a moment, welcome to. If your body needs a little movement, listen to that. We will all eventually land on our backs. So take yourself there whenever you feel ready. There's no rush at all. Whatever you choose to do for the next few moments, either fully receiving the gifts of this practice, this time, yourself. Inviting 3 intentional, unhurried breaths. Let the body receive and surrender. Making your way down onto your back body, if you're not there already. Stretching the legs long on the mat. As long as it feels okay on the shoulders, you'll take the arms up and over the head. The elbows bend and clasp one wrist. If that's too much on the shoulders, or if your shoulders and elbows are not touching the floor, let the arms come wider like a V, or even taking them down by your side is absolutely fine here. Keep the hips grounded down, and we'll start to walk the legs only over to the left, just a little bit, keeping them straight. And then keeping the hips exactly where they are, start to shimmy the upper body over to the left. Making banana asana. They all look like little bananas laying on your mat. Making sure that both hips are on the ground, both shoulders are on the ground. And if you want to deepen this now or at any time, cross the right ankle over the left ankle with the legs pretty straight, as long as that feels okay in your body. But again, make sure that right hip stays to the floor. And if it ever becomes too much, just change your mind and uncross or even come out a little bit. Use the breath to cleanse the right side of your body. Breathing in, see that beautiful white, healing, loving light wash through the whole right side of your body. Breathing out, settling and softening to receive that healing, that love. Few more intentional breaths, moving in, creating space, filling your body, cells. bones, filling it with what you need, the energy that will support you. You bring it in and receive it. Welcome a full breath in and out. And very gently, if the legs are crossed, uncross them. Gently wiggle yourself back to what you believe is center. Release the hands, let them come down by your side. Take a breath in stillness. And maybe choose to bring the knees into the chest for a little windshield wiper or rock and roll to realign the spine, to give yourself a little massage. As you're ready, letting the legs lengthen. Reach the arms up and over the head, clasp the other wrist, if that's what you need, if you clasped the first time. As you feel ready, go ahead and start shimmying the legs over to the right, and then the upper body over to the right. Make sure the hips are both on the floor, shoulders are both on the floor, head is relaxed. Give yourself a few moments before perhaps deciding to cross the left ankle over the right. Beginning to breathe down the left side of the body, bringing that balance in. Creating more spaciousness, bringing in all that you need. Being with the body, letting go, releasing whatever it may not be. Surrender. Nice full breath in, a full breath out. And gently unwinding the body back to center. One little movement at a time. And the legs come back through center, release the arms down by your side. And the knees to the chest. A little rock and roll. In a few moments to breathe into the straight spine, stillness, or continue with some movement if that's what your body needs. And go ahead and grab a block if you have it. If you don't have a block, you can roll a blanket. You do a quick little reset before bringing our body into Shavasana. When you feel ready, you'll take your blanket, your rolled blanket, or your block. A block is preferred. If you don't have one, that's fine. Bend the knees, we'll lift the hips and take that block underneath the sacrum. So shimmy it around to make sure the sacrum finds a place where it can rest and feel supported. All sorts of options. You can hang out right here. You can bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide if that feels good in your body. You can even let the knees come up and float above the hips. Or extend the feet up in the air for waterfall. We'll just take a few breaths wherever you choose to land. Really tuning into the rise and fall of the belly. Just allowing the sacrum to reset. A few intentional, unhurried breaths here. Wherever you are, welcome a full belly breath in. Releasing exhale. If your feet are in the air, very mindfully place one foot to the floor at a time. Bend knee. If your knees are out, help them in. Please ground through your feet. Gently lift the hips, squeeze the glutes. Keep your hips supported. Move the block and lower down intentionally instead of just flopping over to one side. When you get down, you might bring the knees into the chest. You might ensure wiper the legs. And then you'll get yourself ready for Shavasana. So whatever kind of Shavasana posture will support you best. Pillows under the knees. Blanket over the body. Eye pillow. All the things, none of the things you do. As you settle in, once you get there, please welcome a full inhale. Now, as you inhale, tighten up every muscle you could think of. Now you're going to make a funny face, squeezing. And then as you exhale, release all those muscles, all that gripping. Doing that one more time. Big inhale, hold the breath, pull all the muscles in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then as you exhale, release all the muscles and let yourself go. Allow Shavasana to take over. Begin to become aware of the body, the breath, the connection of the body to the earth. Allow your awareness to expand into your space, choosing a deeper breath as you begin to slip into the human suit and gently wiggle fingers and toes. Letting that movement organically grow, wiggling, stretching, and in circles with the wrists and the ankles, the arms. Eventually finding a full body stretch, maybe a yawn, Bring the knees to the chest if that feels good. Eventually rolling over to whatever side calls to you. Use the bottom arm as a pillow for the head. When you arrive there, take a nice full breath into the back of the heart. Exhale into Mother Earth's arms. Gently use the top arm to press yourself upright. Stay connected with the in. Don't worry about what direction you face. Just find a longer, taller spine upon arrival. Let the shoulders roll back a bit, let the heart lift and shine forward. Tune into the tailbone, drawing down towards the center of the earth, and the crown of the head floating up and out towards the rest of the universe. And where these two places meet within yourself, right at your heart space, bring your awareness there. Feel your practice reside in your heart center. Please bring the palms together in front of heart space. We'll close our practice together. With each inhale, gathering all this good energy. With your exhale, sharing it out into the world. Let's take 2 full breaths together. Big inhale. Releasing exhale. And one more time, knowing that whatever you exhale out, share with the world, there's plenty left for you. Big full breath in. Big full breath out. And you bow down. That place within each of us where we connect as one. Namaste.